what, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to give it one try.
Coming up, another rare opportunity for you to try to shatter Bob Grant. It's called Gag, Get, at Grant. There are only 2 rules. 1, you can't say anything nice. 2, hit yourself. That's it. Now stay tuned for another chance to get at Grant. Go after him with both barrels blazing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know a great residue of antipathy, animosity, petulance has built up, and I think it's time to let some of the steam out, and therefore I'm going to try a gag hour. I say try a gag hour because the last few times I tried it, months and months ago, it didn't work very well because the Gavones out there, instead of taking advantage of the opportunity, decided they wanted to say other things. The calls I will take will be those of you who have claimed, and by the way, even if you have called already this week, you can violate this is the only time you can violate the once-a-week rule. All the persona non gratas can even get in. This is that one time when you can call and tell me off. I don't want shtick, though. I mean, I really want you to tell me if there's anything upsetting you, something about me you don't like. If I sense that it's shtick, I'll hang up. Otherwise, you can keep talking as long as you don't repeat yourself and as long as you don't start saying something nice. So we'll try it. Yehudi, you're our first gag caller of the day.
You're never right, Bob. It's Yehudi. That's one thing I have to get you on. Now, you are not a fake, a phony, and a fraud, but you are a fresser, a freak, and afraid. You must fress a lot because you're always on diets. You know, you sit in the Rio diner in the morning, schmooze around, talk to people, read the papers, have your little coffee and salad or a little muffin or something, but I don't know what you eat when you get home. And it probably doesn't have much fiber in it either because you're getting kind of soft in some ways. You must be some kind of a freak because you've got some weird guests on your show. Some of them are very good, the political ones and all that, but the ones who really freak people out, you laugh, you giggle, you have so much fun with those people, and you're afraid. You're afraid of a lot of women. I'm sure that you like women who dominate you. You probably have a cleaning lady who bosses you around. You probably have a girlfriend who bosses you around. You come off as a real tough guy when you're on the radio show. But you really have a lot of things that you're afraid of. Listen, pal, I do want your home number because I would like to chat with you. I'd like to chat with you about a lot of things that I wouldn't talk about on the show, like your health, like your stomach, your ulcers from all the coffee you drink, like your colon, because I think you ought to really, take care of yourself. And you are part of a team. You really are, with Jay and with Rush and with Gordon Liddy and with all those other guys who you try to, keep away from. And if I was a millionaire like you, I wouldn't keep complaining about all these shows you have to do and how much time you have to put in and all these Baba Booey calls and all this other stuff you have to do. You are a millionaire. You've got all these people from the money shows telling you how to invest your money. You're making hands over fist money from the show, and you are really rolling in dough. You're not going to move to New Zealand or Australia because they got too many taxes there. It's a socialist country, and they wouldn't let you shoot your mouth off the way you do here. We really appreciate you, but you are such a little guy, such a pipsqueak, like you called the rabbi who was on your show a couple of years ago, Rabbi Shem Tov. I know who you are, Bob, and the reason why people tell you wwear a toupee, even though you don't, is because you make your hair is in a style that a toupee would in, because that's the kind of guy you are. You like that style. Well, anyway, Bob, I don't want to get AIDS, I don't want to get herpes, but I wanted to get Grant, and I think I did.
Very good. That was great.
And this was no speech. This is all the top of my head.
I thank you. Fantastic. Now, that is a classic gag call. That was a classic gag call. Maybe we should quit while we're ahead and quit the gag hour. Now, I'm just kidding. Jim, you're on WABC. Hello.
Bob, in a monologue a few weeks ago, you segued from talking about a cover story in Newsweek on lesbians. You went into a tirade against immigration, But I found that you were quoting word for word 2 paragraphs from a story in the June issue of Chronicles magazine by Peter Brimelow, editor of Forbes magazine, in an article called The National Question. You quoted 2 paragraphs from him, and yet you didn't source them in your monologue. I can only conclude that you're guilty of plagiarism like one of your heroes, Martin King. And I feel unfortunate for your listeners who think the monologue is the best thing about your show because it reveals how ignorant you really are on a lot of issues. And ignorant in terms of sourcing material, which is a fatal flaw for a communicator, I would believe. Thank you.
All right. Hey, pretty good so far. Pretty good so far. That's the spirit. That's the idea. Paul, this is a gag hour. Do you want to get it, Grant? Paul? Paul? Paul, that was the mating call of a whippoorwill. He didn't respond. He's not a whippoorwill. All right. Let's try Tom checking in.
That's
yes.
adenoid Tom. You know, I'm getting I'm so bad my adenoids that annoy you all the time. I'm sick every time I call you up. Adenoid, get your adenoids taken out. Your days are numbered. I'll make it very brief. How many days you got left? 322 days?
Well, it's 323 shows counting this one.
Shows, yeah, shows. All right, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Oh, that's it. Short and sweet. Al, you're participating in a gag hour.
Okay, this is Al from Chappaqua. This is not directly at you, but the opening dialogue is great. I wish it was a half an hour instead of 15 minutes. However, you're listed as a call-in show, but sometimes you say the phones are working. Call in. But when I try, you have a newsbreaker on the line. Your program of yesterday was your poorest excuse of a show you've had since the 7 years I've been listening. Please, Bob, more dialogue and more call-ins, not so many newsbreakers. Thank you.
All right. I do not argue with callers during a gag hour, but we have a guy with his own agenda by the name of Robert. It's really Bucci, but we call him Busey because, well, it sounds less foreign, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, he has his own agenda, and his agenda includes doing a lot of newsbreakers. I think he's trying to impress somebody, but so far it hasn't worked. This portion brought to you now by the good old guys.
Nothing you can say can tear me away from my...
On WABC, we are going to continue with the gag hour, and so far it's gone pretty well. George from Kearney, this is a gag hour.
Bob, I, too, had a dream like the great Martin King. And that was, Bob, at the last cruise you and your fellow hate-mongering cronies took, that vessel of hate went down to Davy Jones' locker. A nice white boy's name, Bob, so you would have been happy. And the captain of that ship, Bob, was the great Reverend Jesse Jackson, a true man of the cloth.
Well, you're doing shtick now. See, you're not really telling me off. That's just shtick. And I said no shtick. Rochelle, you're on WABC.
Mr. Grant, this is Rochelle. I am furious with you. What are you doing having that Donald Trump on your radio show? I always thought you were intelligent, you can talk. No, you have to have someone who's a pig, who's a liar, who's a cheat, who's a manipulator, who can't keep his pants on for 5 seconds. I'm sorry. That was really unbelievable. And do you really believe he cares about the taxpayers in New Jersey? My mother-in-law lives in New Jersey. She doesn't think so. I think he's only interested in filling up his pants pockets. That's number one. Number two, what are you doing having that guy on about the ferrets yesterday? I come to listen to politics, to world, to nothing. No, you got to have someone talking about ferrets. Give me a break, okay? I don't keep my radio on 4 hours to listen to about a pack of rats and weasels. That's another issue. And then anybody who you disagree with, you knock them. I'm sorry. If someone calls up, okay, I'm not a liberal, all right? I disagree with them too. But give them a chance, man, okay? Don't start calling them jerk and start interrupting them. They have their rights to their point of view too. Okay, they're jerks, but still, you have to give someone a right of their 2 seconds to speak. And why are you constantly, every day, playing about how many more shows you have left? Don't you realize it frightens people like us? It really does. No one appreciates it. I don't appreciate listening to that. I really don't. It frightens me. And one more thing, Bob. I hope you really enjoy this gag hour.
All right. I hope I really enjoy the what? The gag hour. I don't know. Was that a legitimate gag call? We'll take it under advisement. Greg, this is a gag hour, yes?
Hi, Bob. How are you? I know you're a legend in your own mind, but I just wanted to find out, is it true that your wife really gives you chewing gum as a method of birth control? And also, Bob...
See, now you're doing shtick again. That's shtick. That's shtick. That's shtick. It's not really telling me off. It's just trying to be cute. All right, Stephen, go ahead.
Bob, I'm very enraged with you because I do not like the way you treat the black community as a whole. Your callers make fun of them. You just a toupee-wearing white loser. You don't understand the black man. You don't understand the culture. You never tried to understand. You make fun of Mayor Dinkins constantly. Someone called today and said he was one of the members of the Gladys Knight and the Pips. For Christ, crying out loud? What is going on here, Bob? I just don't know what's happening here. You know, I saw you ought to come down and enjoy a big plate of soul food one day.
All right, that's not bad. Maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, I give him a 4. I give him a 4. All right, George, this is allegedly a gag hour. Yes, George.
It's my observation that you're quitting the Democratic Party because of LBJ and its laissez-faire nature, and that maybe it wasn't laissez-faire enough, and you are involved in trying to revitalize the Republican Party of U.S. Grant, your namesake. I think you should reach back further and revitalize the party of Lincoln. And it's my observation that that you're holding on to a Tory view of the Republican Party, which is not American, but rather very much like that of William F. Buckley, the pot-smoking liberal. So I think that you should reach back further in history.
All right, not bad. I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6. On a scale of 1 to 10. I'm grading these gag calls. That's my only comment. John.
Hey, Bob, everybody knows you stole this gag hour from the great king of all media, Howard Stern, who originated this back in WNBC and calling it the rank out session. It is a absolute stolen bit from the great Howard Stern. Is that true, Bob?
All right, you're asking me a question, and it's fair for me to respond. It's absolutely not true. I was doing a gag hour long before that ugly twerp with the long, dirty hair, that ugly twerp with the big nose. Before he came to New York, I was doing that on WMCA. Sorry, pal. John, you're on WABC. Hello.
It's Joan.
Joan, hello.
Bob, how are you? This is Joan, as I said, and I'm persona non grata from New Jersey, but I'm also Jill from Fanwood, Janet from Westfield, Jane from Somerville, Judy, Sally, Tina, Trish, Mary, Ellie, anybody I want to be, and I always get on. So persona non grata means zilch on your show. Anyway, I just wanted to say that you hate people that repeat themselves, but day after day, that's all you do. You repeat yourself over and over and over again. Why I listen to you, I don't know. I guess I'm losing my mind. Anyway, senile. You're going senile. Your nose whistles and your teeth. I don't know. Do something with the teeth. And when you say society, not society. But anyway, it's been real fun talking to you. Bye-bye.
I give her a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10. I give her a 2. But considering she is obviously not playing with a full deck, maybe I should have given her a 4. Because she's obviously got a handicap. Jerry, hello.
Hello, mega dittos today, Bob. How are you today? I'd just like to know how you are doing today. Howard Stern for president, Bob. Sorry to change the subject, but Baba Booey for vice president.
It's a gag hour, folks. It's a gag hour. Take advantage of it. Fred, hello.
Yes, Bob. You know, the lowest form of caller I consider the host flatterer. But on your show, there's even a lower form of caller, and that's the Rush bashers. It seems like your envy of Rush Limbaugh knows no bounds, and you indulge. The most person that you would indulge, they can talk unlimited, is the person who comes on and says, oh, Rush can't shine your shoes, or Rush is not this, and Rush is not this, but you're so great. I mean, your envy is so transparent when it comes through that way. I know Rush was on your show once, and you were all friendly toward him, but, you know, a couple days after he was gone, you revert back to your Rush hatred. And you come out with these statements about timing is everything. Well, for whom is timing nothing? I mean, for all the great men of history, timing was something. I mean, without timing, there'd be no great men who would have gone the other way.
I'm going to stop and ask you a question. Don't you usually call as Michael from Bayside?
I'm never Michael from Bayside.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not Michael from Bayside. I'm Fred.
No, you're giving yourself away.
Okay, you say I'm giving myself away.
I recognize your unmanly voice. David, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, first of all, how you doing? I really want to know how you're doing. I've never asked you this before. I just always wanted to know. Second of all, you know, you're a jerk, fake, phony, fraud scum. You know, you really do love Howard Stern, and you've just never admitted it before. And now the world's finally getting to see how much you really do love him by not hanging up on us Howard Stern callers. Second of all, I think, you know, that rat rug on your skull there has got to go. It's been on there so long, and you just never gotten rid of it. And last but not least, I just want to say good Shabbos.
I don't even give that a grade because that really turned out to be shtick. He gave himself away at the end. I guess nobody really feels... You know, what happened to all these people who were dying to get on, to dispute something, to complain about something? What happened to them? It's amazing. When it comes time for me to do a gag hour, it's just people doing shtick. It's so obviously none of these people really seem to feel what they've been saying. Let's try George from Newburgh. Hello, George.
Hi, Bob. How y'all are? I agree 100% with you all the time, but I want to know what we should do about all these things going on. What do you think?
All right, that's the extent of his gag call, saying things that he knows annoys me. Here's a guy who does not annoy me. Far from it. Steve Dallas.
And unfortunately, we have some annoying traffic.
Everything.